Welcome to the Woodpreneur podcast, the #1 podcast for the business and marketing side of the lumber, woodworking, hardwood flooring, and sawmill industry. I'm your host, Steve from Acres of Timber. Each week, we feature various wood business owners and entrepreneurs from around the globe. We share their stories, paths, insights so that you can network, learn, and grow your own wood business. Thank you so much for listening. Now enjoy the episode. Hey, welcome to a brand new episode of the Woodpreneur podcast. This is your host, Steve. Today's guest is Zach Austin from Austin Builds. How you doing, Zach?
Good. How about yourself?
Good. Why don't you tell everybody about Austin Builds?
Yeah. So, I've only been in business for myself for, this is going on my beginning of my second year. And
Okay.
it's mostly, cabinetry and furniture. But I do, all other types of carpentry, but mainly furniture and cabinetry is what I try to stick with.
Awesome. How'd you get into the business? How long you been doing woodworking? Hey, Steve Larziliere here. Sorry to interrupt this great episode of the Woodpreneur podcast, but I want to let you know that we are just releasing our latest training. And over this training, I go over how I helped generate $200,000 and 300 leads for clients. And during this 45-minute training, we will go over the frameworks, the strategies, and the concepts that you need to scale from 6 figures to 7 figures, or even just get started. These are the building blocks that I've seen help wood, lumber, furniture, millwork companies grow and scale. So I've been hearing it lots of times, like, I just need a training, I need a training. So we finally put it together. So wherever you're consuming this, just click the link in the description and you'll be able to access it.
So I've been like a cabinet maker for, a little over 10 years, I guess, about 10 years, I'd say. And I started working at a company, and I've been to 2 different shops that I mainly worked at. But yeah, kind of, it's hard to say exactly what really got me kind of into the industry, I'd say.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it started, I think, when I was at a young age. My dad was a builder, and
Okay.
I didn't obviously realize it at the time, but growing up, I was always around it, and I think secretly kind of gave me somewhat of a little bit of a passion for it. But that's one of my biggest regrets is not paying attention to really what he had to offer me at the
For
time.
sure.
Being a teenager, you have other things that you want to do.
Absolutely. So before you opened up your own shop, you worked at 2 other shops before. What were you building there?
Mostly all cabinetry, mostly, all different types,
Yeah.
and the occasional, furniture pieces, but it was mostly, custom cabinetry.
Like kitchens, that sort of stuff?
Yeah. Honestly, everything,
Everything.
from kitchens to, you know, vanities, all types of built-ins, even like crazy wall paneling, all different stuff.
For sure.
Custom doors and stuff like that, but yeah,
What
anything.
what made you go out on your own?
So,
Did you get into a
it was
fight
always
with your boss? No, just
not quite. But I did actually get laid off though. It was more of like the company was not like going under, but decided to close their actual shop and to kind of
Yeah.
sub out most of their work.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like the lead man there. It actually kind of downsized. It ended up just being like me and one other guy in the shop.
Yeah.
But they closed it, kind of, no notice really at all. And, just let me go. But it was always something that I had.
That stinks, man. That stinks.
To be honest, it it was tough. I had
Was it a little heartbreaking?
yes, yeah, it was. Just because at all the places I worked, um,
Yeah.
I put a lot of, my heart into it. It
Yeah,
wasn't just like a job, for me. It was more of I had a passion for this stuff. So
for
like,
sure.
and like I always, took the company to represent myself. So yeah, I mean, it was definitely a shock.
Yeah.
There was, I knew they were slowly kind of getting a little smaller, but they never gave me um, any clue that they were taking this path of, getting rid of me. But
Yeah, I just read that, that was at Mitchell Gold, Bob Williams, that furniture company. Have you ever heard of them?
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, they're like luxury furniture. They're in North Carolina. They just laid off like 500 people. And how people found out was they put a sign and sent an email out that says nobody's reporting to work on Monday. Like the company's closing.
Oh,
They have
oh man,
34 stores,
that's
like 800
horrible.
employees, and I was like, wow. And the crazy thing is like their competitors are doing well, and
It-
and and so it was like it was them, like they just ran a
yeah,
crappy
that's.
company, like it was just like I don't
Oh
know,
man.
but no, but that no, that but that must have been a lot of fuel for you to start your own thing. Is that what propelled you to just be like, I'm gonna do it?
I mean, yes, because you know, at the time, basically while he was telling me, it was
Yeah.
like, okay, like because he was like, oh, I'll make some calls, and
Were you like,
I still
screw
like them.
you, screw you? So like,
No, no, I mean, no, I still like them, and I definitely still respect them.
yeah, yeah,
I didn't like the way they decided to, I wish they gave me, like, they knew obviously for quite a while,
yeah.
but they were hesitant to tell me because they thought it would affect the quality of work. But if they knew me, they would have known that, like,
It could have been
it
a
doesn't matter.
conversation. It could have been a
Yeah,
conversation.
exactly.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
no, so I mean, as they were telling me, I basically was like, I'm not doing this again. Like,
yeah,
I left the first place I was working at because, I mean, mainly because they got behind on paying us, and I just couldn't stick around for that. But it was another place that I'd like totally, this shop was a lot. The first shop had a lot more people in it, but it was
yeah,
another place where I worked my way up to basically run everyone in the shop as another like foreman, and
yeah,
but it just couldn't, stick around. But I just didn't. I couldn't do it again. Like I just
yeah,
can't go to another place, start out, and basically, no matter what my knowledge is, any place I was going to start, you're still starting low. You
yeah,
know, you know,
yeah. And you got to
or
understand the
even
culture. Yeah,
yeah, and it was just like I'm not doing it anymore. And I'll tell you, the only thing that stopped me in the past, because it's obviously something I've been thinking about, but I just have no business knowledge, man. I'm like winging this as I go, and it's been hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's been incredibly difficult,
yeah,
staying
yeah,
afloat.
yeah. No, and that's, I mean, and so you've been doing it for 2 years, and I want to say congratulations on still
Well,
being
I'm
around.
like just getting into my second year,
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
starting it, but thanks.
yeah. And I mean, I think a lot of times too, we don't acknowledge how far we've come, and I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of entrepreneurship and going on your own, and having the ability to like sort of go big and think big for yourself. And so what was that for? What I mean, let's recap the first year. Like what was it like? Who were
Well,
your clients?
actually, I kind of lucked out. When the day I got laid off, um, where I went on vacation in Martha's Vineyard, my father-in-law's house got flooded
Whoa.
that day, actually. And so, like, and I used to be in restoration work, like
Hmm.
fire, water, mold damage stuff. And I had, carpentry knowledge and, cabinetry knowledge. It all started in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Um, so it kind of lucked out. I basically spent a couple months out there. Just that's kind of was like my first gig. So it
Wow.
kind of worked out there. And that is kind of where I kind of, while I was doing that one, came up with Austin Builds and, started up my own company. And while I was doing that, and then after that, I got lucky that kept me busy for a while. But for the most part, it's been, you know, I'm on like Thumbtack. I've gotten
Yeah.
some jobs through there. I, I don't love it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I think I've probably lost more money being on that one.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but no, and then I got lucky just, locally finding a couple people and did found my one of my jobs that kept me busy through the first year was a new renovation, like a brand new home. And they found me and I did all their trim work and just a whole bunch of stuff and some built-ins. And I didn't build their kitchen, but I installed it and did a couple like an office and stuff for them. But
Cool. Where are
yeah,
you in?
other than
Are
that,
you in Connecticut or where are you right now?
yeah, yeah, in Connecticut, in New Milford, Connecticut.
In New. Okay. Cool. Very cool. Um, and so what's been the highlight so far of this past year? Like what in terms of like being a woodpreneur, like what's been the highlight of this journey so far?
Honestly, working from home, I
Yeah.
love that. I absolutely just I love working from home,
Hmm.
and I, I mean, I probably need to get a bigger shop. Like I need
Yeah.
to get something bigger,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
I really enjoy just stepping into my garage. Like that's
Yeah. Yeah.
like it's just really nice, especially with like kids and stuff. I mean, that also, gives me some challenges at the same time.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but
How old are your kids?
I 6, 5, and 2.
Oh, you got little ones. They're not all
Yeah.
in school yet. You've got like first graders, right? Like
Yep. My daughter,
in
the oldest
kindergarten.
daughter, 6. She just started first grade, and then my son
That's
who's
hard.
5.
That's hard. That's hard. That's what people don't understand. You got little kids and you trying to run a business. Oh man.
It's tough.
You
It's
gotta you
tough,
gotta have a super supportive spouse. You gotta like
dude. I can't. No, you're
you gotta
absolutely
have
true.
oh my God.
My wife is like my biggest supporter,
Yeah.
and I mean, she has the toughest job. I mean,
Yeah.
and she's absolutely like been amazing through this whole process. And I
Yeah.
mean, she gets all the like, I say she deserves all the,
The
rewards
kudos.
for everything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I feel you. It's like you have young kids and you got projects that demand only your time,
Yeah.
and then you got to like turn around and be a husband and a father and be present for them and then
Yeah.
keep the lights on and then you're working from home and it's just a lot, right? It's just
It is. It definitely is. But being on your own, that it like it has gotten me that ability to be around for more things.
yeah.
Choosing
Yeah,
your own hours is,
for
you know,
sure. For
being your
sure.
own boss has been the biggest highlight. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. What in terms of growth, what does growth look like for you? So I mean you're 1 year in, where do you want to be?
I'm nowhere where I want to be right now. That
Yeah.
is, for sure. I mean, to be honest, it's been a rough last couple months. Only getting like small jobs, which has been really tricky. But I've been now working with a couple different other like contractors, so
Yeah.
it looks like it's starting to,
Pick
you
up a
know,
little bit.
yes, which I'm excited for because that's more on the line of kind of what I'd like to get my work from is,
Yeah.
more of other contractors or, other people looking to sub out some of their work.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's a good place to start because I think there's also the, you know, possibility for, repeat, you know, work. But so hopefully that's, something, that's going to really get me over
Yeah.
the next step.
Yeah.
But I
Where
mean,
where do you where I mean where talk about the vision for the future. Like what do you think the vision looks like? Like how are you thinking about the next 6 to 12 months in your business?
um, that's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, I just would like to, I mean, basically have it lined up, because
Yeah.
my situation now is I get a job and it's hard to have that next one right in
Yeah.
line. So there's
Yeah.
always been that somewhat of a downtime in between jobs.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, for the most part, my next step is I really just want to be able to keep a constant, steady
Flow
workflow coming
projects.
in. Yeah.
What's the bread and butter though? Like what like if you could do anything all day and you love it and it's super profitable and people love you because of it, what do you think that would be?
I mean, you know, I think it would probably be, um, yeah, cabinetry. I don't know what it is. I mean, I like doing small cabinetry for the most part. Like
Like
I like
vanities? Like
vanities. Yeah.
vanity? You like
Yeah,
vanities? Yeah.
I
Yeah, yeah,
do.
yeah.
Or even like smaller furniture pieces,
Like what? Like what?
nightstands or certain things like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you know, I, I enjoy those just because it's something that doesn't take up, you know, it could be, it's a little less on material. So like
Yeah.
you can, you know, tend to also bang it out kind of faster as opposed to
Yeah.
something larger.
Sure.
Um, and plus I, have somewhat of a small shop, so I try not to take something on too big. But I think I think stuff like that, smaller furniture pieces or cabinetry like vanities, or even like you know anything like that is kind of what I enjoy building. But I mean, the thing about it is that I also really enjoy like a challenge. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like to have, you know, something that, you know, is different because I enjoy figuring out like, okay, you know, like figuring out how am I going to do this?
For
That's
sure.
somewhat of a fun process,
Yeah. What's
and
what's the what's the biggest project that you did based out of your shop?
um, I mean, I guess it's just been an office that I basically built. Um, I mean, I wouldn't say it's much of a challenge, but it was probably the biggest thing I've built so far.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, yeah.
What do you
I
mean an
mean,
office? Like, what do you mean an office? Like a desk, side
mhm.
tables, coffee tables, shelving, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it was just more like an office with a desk, and it wasn't anything crazy, but it was more of like a bunch of like most of
A
it
bunch of
was
a bunch of
countertop.
smoke, for sure,
You know,
for sure.
Y- so I mean, I mean, it was just trying to figure out like they didn't really want much actual cabinetry. They wanted a lot of countertop, but it needed to be supported and structurally sound, and it definitely, and it was something had took totally three walls, and had to figure out like the best way to install it. But yeah, I mean, I think that was probably the biggest challenge, but it
For
wasn't
sure.
a super big challenge by any means,
It
but
was a big
just
challenge. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
I
mean,
you know
how much was that project worth?
um I mean, I don't really want to say, to be honest. I kind
Okay.
of got
Okay,
uh
okay. You undercharged.
I did, yeah.
Okay, 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 okay. It's not for lack of transparency, but more for embarrassment. That's it. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, honestly, I hate to say it, but like right now, anything that I feel like I'm giving a reasonable number on, I get nothing back from it. It's almost
Yeah.
like I have to kind of, but I'm also I know I'm not reaching out to the right clientele, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Somehow, like you have a great aesthetic, and you have like I think you understand content. Um, and I'm just wondering if uh I'm just I don't know. Maybe do you mind just like maybe if we just switch to like a consultation call right now and like just say like, hey, what how can we help you right now get to where you want to be? Are you cool with that?
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Okay, cool. So tell me what's the biggest challenge right now? Like what do you absolutely like what's the thing keeping you up at night?
Everything, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, honestly. I mean, it's been super tough, dude. Like I'm really not gonna lie. Almost there's at least a couple of times a day where I'm like, all right, I gotta go. This is gonna be like a side gig, and I gotta go get another job. You know,
Yeah.
but I don't want to. I have no desire to do that.
Yeah.
And like I said, hopefully, now that I've gotten my foot in with a couple other,
For sure.
shops and other, contractors, I'll be able to get more from it. I mean, because to be honest, like at all the places that I worked,
Uh-huh.
you know, they get most of their jobs from a lot of the same people. So
Yeah.
I need to find that connection. But part of me also, because I've gotten really into the social media, and I'll be honest, like, I enjoy it.
You enjoy
It
social
wasn't.
media.
I do. I
Yeah.
do. I mean, I wouldn't say it's easy. I mean, it's definitely very time consuming. Um,
Yeah.
but I enjoy making videos. And for the most
Yeah.
part, it's just, you know, trying to, my content is, it's not exactly exciting always, but you know, try to make something boring somewhat exciting is somewhat fun. I think.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think, you're in an area that could greatly benefit from you putting yourself out there a lot more. And so like one of the things that I like to say is like so maybe to recap like um it kind of sounds like you don't have enough awareness for leads to come in
yeah.
and you're relying on word of mouth and potentially some of these other relationships with subcontractors for them to contact you in order for you to do it, right? In
I
order
mean,
for you
somewhat. I mean, I've definitely been like, you know, going around, putting my card and stuff out there, and
okay.
like I've tried to kind of use like social media for it, but I feel like that's not a good way to really, get the stuff that, because a lot of the stuff I do is mostly more local. Um,
Yeah.
But I mean, with that being said, I also am trying to do some more of like the smaller stuff or something to start like an
Yeah.
Etsy page or something. But I haven't gotten that far in figuring that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for the most part, the only thing I really, had was, the thumbtack, which I don't know if you know how that works,
Oh
but
yeah, it's crappy. It's crappy. Yeah,
it
it's
sucks.
like bargain basement, everybody looking for a deal, and it's like borderline handyman stuff, right?
I mean, you can put in like, like
Yeah.
I'm in there as like as a custom furniture cabinet maker. So like I'll get like, some that are like actual like, someone wanting, a, fire, but a bookcase built in or you
Yeah.
know, even like a kitchen and stuff like that. But for the most part, they have nothing to go off of. And
Yeah.
like so you have to be the designer and you like and you
Yeah.
have to be the, got to give them drawings.
For
And
sure.
like, I mean, at least for me, I think that's the biggest part is figuring out an estimate without
Hmm.
having like a drawing or something to go off of. So I end
Yeah.
up doing something like that to give it a better understanding. So I end up spending like all this time, making something to like figure out an estimate.
Do you do like SketchUp?
Yeah, SketchUp, exactly.
Okay, 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 okay. Okay, so I mean, here's what you got to do. It's like I would narrow down your services to two things.
Okay.
And these two things that you do vanities and you do built-ins, right? Like, and those, I mean, it kind of sounds like it's a mix of both. Like
Yeah.
built-ins, you're not completely in love with, but you got the skills to completely do it, but you
Yeah.
really are in love with vanities. You just love doing that. So I would offer those two things. I would then leverage a personal Facebook page, your
Okay.
personal Facebook page, and I would do Instagram. But on Instagram, I would be tagging your area, New Milford, and
I do it
tagging.
every single time.
Okay, okay, and I would be engaging with the largest accounts in your area.
Okay.
How I would get the word out in the next month, if I were you, is I would say, I'm running a contest and I'm giving away a vanity,
Okay.
a custom vanity, and mock up what one of them could look like, or use AI to just mock up what a cool vanity would look like. And then for the built-in, you could say, or you could run them two different times or at the same time. For the built-in, you say $1,500 off or $3,000 off your next vanity. I mean,
Hmm.
your next built-in. I would come up with the picture and come up whatever and have people enter in by putting their name and their email address
Okay.
and build up so much hype where you have a bunch of leads come in and a bunch of uh, names, emails of people around you that are looking for your product and service. This is what I would do.
Okay.
And then I would do a public drawing where you do like the randomized thing. Whoever won the vanity got this. And you're like,
Yeah.
you won a vanity, right? Valued at this amount of dollars. And then whoever wants the built-in, if you want to do it for free or you want to do a thing, they win it, you announce it,
Yeah.
you build it, you document the whole entire process. You now have it for social. You build and document the built-in for your, and you got money, but you have a deep discount.
Yeah.
And then everybody that entered, if you got 100 people, then you go back to those people and say, hey, look, I'll give you 50% off of the vanity, the next three people. The next three people after that will get 30% off. The next three people after that get 20% off. Next three people after that get 10% off. But you're rewarding people that take action the fastest.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's what I would do. I
Okay.
would I would start that. I would start that at the beginning of the month
Okay. All right.
and run it for 10 days.
Okay.
Because like if you're gonna build anything, you know how to create content. You can leverage that content to get more eyeballs on your work. And so you're literally eating it for attention.
Yeah.
Eating it meaning like you're gonna be put out for attention and a bunch of leads.
All right. I mean, I definitely get what you're saying. That
Yeah. I
definitely
mean,
makes sense.
if you want a large amount of people in a short period of time
Yeah.
to know your work, this is exactly what one of my clients did. He does accent walls,
Okay.
right? He gave away an accent wall valued at like $1,500, $2,000. What he actually did, and you can do this, not this first time because people don't know you. The next time you do a raffle. So like $50, 50 entries. or
Okay.
whatever, and the amount of entries, and you pick it so somebody can get so he did this with an accent wall.
Yeah.
He got enough money for the accent wall. Somebody chipped in 25, $50 for a raffle, and then he got a bunch of leads that he sold on the back end. So this works.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's, I mean, listen, if you wanted something like right away, that would be, because right now and I would say this for, for everybody that's listening, the hard part about this is when you're slow, there's no momentum, and the no momentum is so demotivating.
Yeah. No, it is.
It's so demotivating because you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And whenever I feel like that, you know what I do? I turn to service. I find ways to help people. There might be somebody out there that's like, they may need like a mudroom cubby, which you could build, right?
Yeah.
Or they need, because they just want their stuff to be a little bit more organized, right?
Yeah.
And you're a dad, 3 kids, going off and doing this, using your skills to feed your family. You can build a community around that very, very easily. It's very,
Yeah.
very easily. And so for me, that's kind of what I would do. I would just go big into that. Like just launch it, even if you don't want to do like a built-in, definitely do it for the cabinet. I mean,
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
vanity. Do a giveaway for the vanity, and you're gonna get a lot more leads. Those leads, they were interested, so they're engaged, and you
Yeah.
can get them to be your followers, get them to like your page, friend them on your personal Facebook page, and then just kind of go from there. Dude, you got 3 young kids, right? You know who those three
Yeah.
young kids have? There's a lot of other families with young kids too.
Yeah.
You should be selling to all of your kids' friends. All of those play dates that your families go on, all of them need vanities. All of them. You just haven't asked them to do it.
Well, it's tough. I mean, you got to
It's
also
not
realize
that.
like
It's
a
not
lot
that.
of people, no, but I
Yeah.
mean, like you can go to Home Depot, you can buy
Yeah.
a vanity
Yeah.
for cheaper than what it would cost for me to get the material to build you a vanity,
Yes.
so
However,
that's
the
where,
people in the neighborhood that don't want something from Home
yeah,
Depot, those are the people that you actually need to
yeah,
talk to. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, like and I just looked in your area. There's some Facebook groups that you should be in, and that you should
Okay.
be networking and letting people know that you exist.
Yeah, I haven't figured out. I don't know. Like, I haven't gotten a ton into Facebook, but I know my wife keeps telling me to get into these groups and stuff, and
Yeah,
I
because she sees
I need to
people
figure it out.
eating off of it too. There's so many people eating off of it. So
Yeah.
like honestly, I always say listen to your wife, but yeah, that's what put it,
Exactly.
uh put together a think about what I said. Think about just
Yeah.
just that. But like, I mean, how much would a vanity be? Like 4 to 5 thousand?
I mean, depends on the size, but yeah, yeah. I mean, it could be,
3 to 5?
yeah. I mean, there's a lot to, you know, to there's a lot of range in
There's a lot
price with that.
for
Yeah,
sure.
especially if
For
you
sure.
have like a lot of drawers. Drawers are definitely way more expensive than like doors
For
and
sure.
stuff. And
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing, and I'm gonna say this, and I hope it's encouraging. You've got a lot of skills, man. Like you've got a
thanks, man.
lot. You're not a hack. That's the thing. You're not a hack.
Yeah,
And so the difference, and I'm not just saying this to you, Zachary. I'm saying this to the folks that are out there that are super talented. They pour hours and years and decades into their craft, but
yeah,
the thing that they've devoted their life to, and their career and their skills and their blood, sweat, and tears, and they're almost getting their finger cut off to, is not giving them the financial satisfaction that they need.
yeah,
And that is really frustrating, and I understand, and I like, and so for me, whenever I I've encountered a lot of, super successful people. And you know what they always say? You got to do something that makes you really uncomfortable to get out of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You've got to do something that seems out of pocket. People are like, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa, 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 who are you right now? Like literally, who are you? Like you would shock the closest people to you. Um, and part of it is like knowing that you're not, and no diss to charcuterie and cutting boards, you're not doing that. You're actually adding value to people's homes, and
yeah,
know that that has value.
that's true. Honestly, I've never thought about it like that. I think that I appreciate that. That kind of sticks in a little bit, you know.
You know what I mean? You're not,
Yeah, absolutely.
you're not, you're not turning pen blanks. Like
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, and
there's
that's
nothing wrong with that.
absolutely not. But I definitely that you know, adding value to a home.
You're
That's
adding
honestly
value to a
something I
home.
didn't really honestly totally. I mean, I knew
That's
it,
what
but
I'm
I didn't
saying.
really think
That's what
of
I'm
a
saying. It's like
difference. Yeah.
you're adding value to a home, and that makes you valuable because you're able to do something that nobody else is able to do.
Got it. Thanks, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate
no
that.
worries, man. All right, tell everybody how to follow you.
Follow me at Austin Builds LLC. At
Yeah,
Instagram is the main social account that I pay attention to. Same thing on Facebook and YouTube, but kind of I think Facebook it automatically kind of goes onto it from Instagram, but
good,
YouTube I got to get back on, but
cool,
working on it.
cool. Cool. Dude, thank you so much for your
Yeah,
time. Yeah, and
thank
I'll
you.
stay close to you, and yeah, I look forward to sharing your story out.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for reaching out to me, and I appreciate the advice. Honestly, it's like the number one thing I was looking forward to.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome, man. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
all right, thanks a lot, man.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Thanks so much, man. Hey, you
Yeah,
know what
dude.
I'll do? I'll just because it'll help a lot of people, I'll just map out